Twister begins in June of 1969, when our hero Joe was a little girl living in Oklahoma, and her parents race to get her to the storm cellar before a tornado comes. The tornado is too powerful, and it rips Joe's dad right out. And it's June of 1969. This poor bastard never even got to see the moon landing. Oh, I'm sorry. He never got to see the fake moon landing. Nice soundstage, assholes.
Why the f*** are there no stars?
We then get to present day, and the National Severe Storm Laboratory is predicting a record number of tornadoes are going to touch down all across the South. And Jo is now a storm chaser who's dedicated her life to studying tornadoes, so no one has to go through what she went through. I mean, her family made it to the storm cellar in time. The door just gave out. So really, instead of tornado warning systems, she should spend her life teaching about the dangers of wood rot. And Bill Paxton plays Joe's ex-husband and former storm chaser, Bill Harding, and Bill and his fiancée, Melissa, track down Joe's team in the field in order to get Joe to sign the divorce papers. And Bill's former team is made up of some real cut-ups, including Dusty, played by the legend Philip Seymour Hoffman.
The extreme! It's the extreme!
Yeah, and apparently Bill was such a wild man that his nickname was The Extreme. Like, it's not extreme, it's The Extreme. Which when you're describing him, that nickname is fine. Like, oh yeah, he's The Extreme. But it's not a good nickname if you're trying to address him directly. You'd be like, hey, The Extreme, can you come check out this weather report? It's so awkward. And Jo and her team have finally realized Bill's vision and built the Dorothy device, which will release sensors into the tornado, providing mountains of data. But unfortunately, a former storm-chasing colleague named Jonas got corporate sponsors and is now the rock star of the storm-chasing world, and he's stolen Bill's idea, and he's going to try to release his sensors first. Oh shit. Jonas is about to get curb stomped by the Extreme! Oh. Okay, but what the audience doesn't realize is that's like Jonas's favorite hat, so it's very on brand for the Extreme. Bill gets a feeling about a tornado when they go racing after it. And now, Dusty is the eccentric wild man. Like, every team has one, every team needs one, except everyone on this team is kind of goofy and insane in their own right. Like, you don't all have to be weird. Some of you can just be scientists. And also, if everyone is weird, it doesn't really make Bill Paxton believable as the Extreme. And Jo and Bill get swarmed by the tornado, but there's no time to release Dorothy 1, so they have to take cover under a bridge. You want to see it? Is this your first tornado? They pack up their stuff and prepare to release Dorothy 2 on another tornado.
Is this thing loaded?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my god, she's got a gun!
It might not be too bad of an idea, because if we just got the hell out of here, because that was definitely, there's so many tornadoes back there.
Are you just up 'em in everything? Like, imagine saying this to your boss. You work at a tornado chasing factory and you're afraid of tornadoes. They then decide to pay Joe's Aunt Meg a visit in the town of Wakita. And also, I think you could make the case for this being the best looking meal in a movie ever. Like, I get so hungry every time I see this. Some could argue that the meal in Hook was the best looking, but I would have to challenge that because I don't know what half this shit's supposed to be. It just looks like different colors of whipped cream. But actually, if we're talking about the best looking steaks of all time, then really nothing beats Tom and Jerry. Every time someone ate a steak on that show. So delicious. And they're all sitting around eating and talking about old times when Dusty reveals how Bill got the nickname The Extreme.
This loser stumbles out of the car. He's got like a bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand.
He's naked.
And he chucks the bottle into the Twister.
And again, the older I get, the more I realize that Bill was way better off as a sober weatherman with a rich, hot wife. Now, I know this is actually the least hot that Jamie Gertz has ever looked, but she's still Jamie Gertz. They get word of another Twister and they take off again.
That's no moon! It's a space station! Ah!
Sick reference though, bro.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Dude, your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
And Bill activates Dorothy 2 as Joe drives directly towards the Twister, but Dorothy gets knocked off the truck and Joe and Bill hash it out.
Joe, things go wrong. You can't explain it. You can't predict it. Killing yourself won't bring your dad back. You gotta move on. Look at what you got right in front of you. Me, Joe.
Hey, Bryce.
What?
You better get over here and take a look at this.
I think Joe and the Extreme are going to get back together. Oh, that's nice. They go to a drive-in theater to regroup, and the theater is playing the Stanley Kubrick classic, The Shining.
Living the dream by riding his big wheel all over the hotel. And I'm just thinking about how awesome it would have been to ride my Mr. T big wheel all over a giant. Oh my god. Hello, girl? Okay, hard pass on that shit.
And according to Jan de Ball, Kubrick allowed them to use The Shining in his movie because Kubrick was such a fan of the movie Speed. And that is the greatest piece of movie trivia I have ever heard. And knowing that Kubrick loves speed makes me almost forgive him for what happened to astronaut Doug Schmeltz during the filming of Moon Landing. And there's a lot of tension now between Bill and Joe, and it is palpable.
This is Stephen King documenting night one from the Stanley Hotel. What was that? Oh my God, there are a lot of creepy sounds, and I am a little freaked out. Oh my sweet Jesus, what is that? This is like the scariest night of my life. Who's there?
Hello? I'm the repairman, Jerry.
Oh my God, did you say Scareman Jerry? Oh God, Scareman Jerry, that sounds terrifying.
What? No, I'm here because we're having issues with the pipe.
Oh my God, Scareman Jerry wants to crush my windpipe. You'll never take me alive, Scareman Jerry!
And just like Jaws 4, the son of the original Twister tracks them down and attacks the drive-in.
What are you doing? Come back!
Come on, take my hand! No, I can't take my hand! The window.
Why did he even take this job? Is this part of some kind of Face Your Fears job placement program? They then learn that another tornado is set to hit the town of Waukeeta, and they race to save Aunt Meg. And Melissa tells Bill that she's leaving him. And now the tornadoes have been getting progressively stronger, and now they're up against the fifth and final boss, the F5 tornado. And now they only have 2 Dorothys left, so it's now or never. Or, until they can build more. And so they put Dorothy 3 in the path of the tornado, but the F5 has some insane power-ups.
Hadouken! Shoryuken!
And Jonas and his team are then trying to intercept, but then he gets absolutely bodied by the F5. And what the hell? I had no idea these 2 dudes were in this. I don't even think they have any lines. And so the F5 has tasted the blood of humans and is now on a warpath and begins throwing everything it has at Joe and Bill.
I think we're going in!
You don't have to. You have time to go around it. Look who I'm talking to, you the extreme son of a bitch. They activate the last Dorothy and drive the truck directly into the tornado. And the Dorothy works, and the sensors go into the tornado and begin, eating it from the inside. But unfortunately, the F5 knows that it's beaten and has nothing to live for, and in its final act tries to destroy our heroes as they seek shelter at a nearby farm. And they strap themselves to a pipe and... Yes, I know this would never work. You do not need to tell me. Because if you go to the Goofs section in IMDb, there are no fewer than 30 entries literally just about this scene. And so that was Twister. If any of you are wondering if I had planned to release that before Twisters came out, the answer is yes. Yeah, the nerd's been going through some shit. Hopefully I'm over it, and I don't know, play it week by week and see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and hopefully we'll see you next week.